which I like. We're starting to see, some cohesive play. We're starting to see belief that they can win, and that's what I like. And I give the credit to both coaching staffs,
Mhm.
for bringing that together. But easy wins now. Is it going to be games like you said, Tommy, when they go in? Are they going to, play down to the level of
Right.
expectation? Is it going to be a game where the turnovers start again?
Yeah.
We don't know that, but I think that in games like that is where you really see the strength of the team. I mean, it's easy to get up for a big opponent, somebody that that, hey, look, we got to be at our A game here, but then see that letdown going in. But I think you're going to see the strength of these two teams come together, and they're both running the ball and not making a lot of mistakes, and that's what I like to see out of both of these guys.
Yeah, and Jeff, to that point, these teams, these two teams have kind of gone against the theory for the NFL the last few years. Both these teams are winning with really good defenses. They're both running the ball really well. Their passing games are are not doing well for various reasons. Giants have no receivers who would be on anybody's fantasy team, and the Jets, Jeff, their two of their last big picks, Mims and Moore, are disgruntled. Haven't been targeted, but yet these teams are finding ways to win. I kind of like the way they're doing it.
Well, listen, both teams. You brought up a point of using an old style of football. First of all, good morning, Mike Tyson. Good morning, Mike Weissman. Sorry about that. It's a little early in the morning for us. The first thing I got to say is that the Giants and Jets have been working the run game a lot.
Yeah, Brees Hall and Saquon Barkley, yeah.
You could live and die by that because now they already know that they got weak passing games. Okay, more so, I feel as though more so the Giants because of the lack of receivers. And Daniel Jones, to me, I'm sorry, just hasn't shown me much with 5 touchdown passes this year. I feel as though that, you should be trying to get the ball through the air a little bit more. But, yes, he has receiver problems. But, it's all they got to do is key in on the front line. And you could stop these teams. But I think that the Jets are in a better position because they have a lot of young kids that are gelling together rather quickly. And the Giants, they have to go through. They got to do something about their receiving core. And like I said Thursday night, I would, until proven otherwise, I would worry about the injury bug with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. It has to be in the back of the coaching staff's mind. One of them goes down, and they've shown that they go through a stretch every year. That could be it for them. And I understand injuries can happen at any time, but
sure,
these are guys that get hurt, pretty historically year after year. They got to be careful. So hopefully they're conditioned and can keep up their health right now.
Listen. I think the injury bug can hit anybody. I mean, look, Zach Wilson was out for the first few games of the season.
He's another one made a paper too.
Yeah, again, but I think that's the NFL. I mean, I think week 7 in the NFL, everybody's got dinged up. I mean, Barkley's had a bad shoulder for the last 3 weeks. Jones has ridden through an ankle sprain for 3 weeks, and the Giants keep winning. I disagree on Daniel Jones. If you watch him play, and I watched every game so far this year, his play has been really good, above really good. He just doesn't have a legitimate deep threat, a guy who's catching passes and running with it. But again, tempered on all counts until these teams take it to the next step. We'll take it to another step in the NFC East. Guys, before the season, I think we all thought the AFC West was going to be the beast of the divisions this year. And with
how could you not? How could you have not thought it was? You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, no.
Quarterback in that division. How could you have not?
Correct. And so far, well, there's 2 teams at 4-2. Nothing wrong with those records. Johnny, I don't think any one of those teams, including the Chiefs, are a dominant team. And I think the Raiders and Derek Carr is a little bit on the hot seat right now because they brought in Devontae Adams. The Broncos brought in Russell Wilson. That hasn't worked. That's been a disaster. Right. Justin Herbert hasn't been what he is. I think this division has definitely been the AFC least, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been the most mediocre out of the bunch. I mean, even with Kansas City, I mean, we see we see breaks with this team. You know, there are times where they blow up and you think, man, they're unstoppable again. And then there's times where they're just, mediocre. Mahomes is missing some throws. The protection has actually been there, but he's making a lot of plays outside the pocket, which he normally does. I mean, that's his way. But you mentioned the Raiders and the Broncos are definitely,
Yeah.
we thought they would be at least competitive, and I think,
Yeah.
defensively, it's almost like you don't even want to put the offense out on the field. Just let the defense play both sides of the ball and see what happens. I mean, they're to say pathetic is an understatement. They're hitting nothing downfield. They can't run the ball. Wilson is making bad reads left and right. He's totally looked out of sync. And what do they do to fix this though, guys? I mean, I don't even know where to even say to start there with the Broncos.
Jeff, I'll let you, Jeff, I'll let you go with that one.
I'm sorry, I was busy reading what Mike Weisman said.
Mike, you're not gonna get on any favor on this show with that comment.
Listen, Mike, don't worry about it. I'm going to order more stuff, bro.
Jeff, to John's point though, what has to happen? I mean, listen, at this point, I don't see Russell Wilson all of a sudden getting better. I don't see Derek Carr getting better, at this point in the season. So, do we give them too much expectation this year in that division?
I don't know what to say. I mean, I just looked up what's his face's stats, Russell Wilson's stats.
Yep.
He has 1,442 yards, tied for 13th in the league. He also has 5 touchdown passes, tied for 24th, 3 interceptions, tied for 6th, and a QBR of 35.7 for 26 plays. If we go over to Carr, which I'm interested in seeing what his numbers are, here's somebody with 1,279 yardage, 8 touchdowns, tied for 12th, 4 interceptions, tied for 14th, and a QBR of 57.1. Neither one of them is lighting up the league. And I think we overestimated that division big time. But in the offseason, when we said it, we had every right to think that way with the quarterbacks that were in the league, Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, and now you add Wilson to it. I don't think Wilson's done. I think Wilson has an injury of some sort, or he's not 100% healthy, because he should be doing better in Denver than what he's doing. Carr, listen, Carr seems to be one of these oddballs. Like, he may all of a sudden start playing great in another week and then light up that team, but you're 1-4. That you got to think that season's all but done for them.
Yeah.
And Herbert, he had a few receivers that got hurt, I believe.
Well, Keenan Allen's been out forever, so that's a big blow to that offense.
Yeah, his offensive line, it's like, Mike says he's only 5 touchdown passes behind Daniel Jones. Mike, you may have a chance of becoming an offensive lineman for the Chargers, because they need them over there. That team has been decimated by injuries. So, that whole division, and you know what? Tyreek Hill was a big, big piece in Kansas City.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Travis Kelce's been playing big. Also, I don't know if you know this, I didn't tell you this yesterday. Travis Kelce redid his deal so that they could try to have some money there ready to go, with a rumor that they're going to be going after Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, listen, we'll get to Odell Beckham in a little while. I have a segment set up for that. I want to talk about where the possible spots is, and that is, I think anybody whose expectations are for the playoffs this year, it's possible. He can wind up anywhere from Green Bay to San Francisco, back at the Rams.
I don't think he's going to go to Green Bay, bro, to tell you the truth.
Again, let's hold that. But Jeff, you're 100% right. I think the disappointing play by the quarterbacks in that division has changed it over a little bit. And I think we all thought because of the names we were going to see better play. We haven't. And I disagree on the Russell Wilson thing. I think Russell Wilson's been on the downslide for a couple of years now. And good morning, Will Cloak. And I don't see him turning it around on that team. If that team wins, they play mistake-free football and ride the defense. Let's get to another division where we all thought was going to be the NFC least, and has turned into the NFC beast, and that's the NFC East, where the Eagles at 6-0, the Giants at 5-1, and the Cowboys at 4-2 have all probably exceeded expectations. And of course, the Redskins pulling up dead last. I can't lose enough games for me. I hope Ron Rivera gets run out of there, tied to the back of a fire truck. I just, with the lights and sirens as they fucking tear him out of the city. But that's a whole different story. Guys, John, I don't know if we just assumed another bad year for the NFC East. Are the teams better? I don't. Again, this is all new to me. What's your take on the NFC East?
I think what you're seeing here, Tommy, is you're seeing the teams do what they do best instead of trying to do things that they're not, normally outside the box. And what I mean by that is Dallas is winning with good defense, and we knew their defense was a top defense. Making a lot of plays, in the secondary, a lot of pressure up front, like we expected. But if you look back to to way they've been playing in the last game with the Eagles, it was the downfall right there, was the turnovers. You're not turning over the ball. You're doing what you do best. You're running the ball, and that's one of the things that we're seeing. Actually league wide. I don't think that you're seeing these offenses, opening up as much as they have in years past. I think you're starting to see more defensive play. You're starting to see more of the old school football from most of these teams. And Philly's the same way. Great running game. The style of offense that they play too is kind of reminiscent of like when the 49ers brought Kaepernick in when he first came in. It was different way to plan the defense. Is Hurts going to run the ball? Is Miles Sanders going to be the guy? It's hard to prepare for that. And that comes to running game. That comes to good coaching and solid offensive line play is what I'm seeing out of this division.
I would agree. And guys, you're watching the Sunday Audible show live here on a Saturday morning with hosts Jeff Tomwitsky, John Hefker, and myself. And we're glad you guys stuck around. Make sure you check out SundayAudible.com for lots of interesting information about the show and league stuff going on in the league. And of course, use the Sunday Audible website to buy your NFL gear. We are an NFL.com affiliate, so please buy your NFL gear through the show and help us out. Jeff, your take on the NFC East. I mean, I know you've been riding the NFC East pretty hard the last few years. Turned it around a little bit this year. It's surprising, of course, but why is the NFC East become the NFC beast at this point?
I agree with a lot of what John said about them. Each one of those teams has a decent run game, and it's something different. I mean, the Giants out of the three are showing that teams could win with a run game because they have no air game with no receivers. I got to agree with that. Philadelphia, I don't know. Maybe we all underestimated Hurts.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have never have thought that he would have made it this far, to be honest with you. Dallas, I mean, this is 2 years in a row that Dak Prescott got hurt. And I mean, they're right there in the thick of things. It's like, I don't know. They just seem to get hurt, Dallas, but they do enough during the regular season to be at or around first place as they have been for the last 2 or 3 years now, it seems.
Yeah.
And listen, the Redskins, I don't know what's going on with the Redskins. All I do know is that they show they do not know how to build a football team, regardless of who the coach is, who the quarterback is. All I know is from when Daniel Snyder, when I knew the name that he was the owner, he was throwing money at players and they didn't fucking do nothing.
Yeah.
He wasted some money on some players throughout the years, and it's been disgusting. But listen, the only team that any of us should really be caring about from the NFC East is the Giants, because they're the closest team for everybody. Maybe John is an Eagles guy, I don't know, but that would be an interstate rivalry for him, I would think. But the rest of those teams, it's listen, the New York Giants is a New York team, so
No,
would be nice to see a New York team do something in the playoffs.
I think we got a chance for a lot of expectations out of New York, and we'll get to that side in a second. But guys, we talk about Dak Prescott, we talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Jeff pointed a good point about Dak. John, they were not great last year. They're game number one before Dak got hurt. The offense was listless, and Cooper Rush has really kind of turned that saved that season with some good play. Now again, it was some smoke and mirrors. He didn't throw the ball a ton, but they were winning. Now he loses this week. Dak happens to be coming back. Should the Dallas Cowboys be rushing Dak Prescott back to the back into the starting lineup this week?
I was just going to bring this up to you guys. It seems to me like the Cowboys play better without Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, you look at, the things that they like to do. They like to run the ball. They have an excellent running game, and you get a good mix with Zeke, Zeke's actually looked like the normal, the Zeke that we expected over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he has it together. He's running harder, stronger. And they play great defense. But you bring Prescott into the mix, it just kind of seems like they want to throw the ball more, and that's really not what their game is. I think to be cohesive. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen this week. Are they going to stick to what they do or have done this season? In this winning streak. I mean, I know they lost last week, but are they going to run the ball? Are they going to continue with the defense, or is it going to be something? Hey, we're going to try to open it up again, and we don't know. We don't know what back we're going to get today or tomorrow.
No, and Jeff, to your point about the Redskins, and you're right. They've wasted some money on a lot of high-priced free agents, but when you use your last 3-4 number one, number twos, and you try to build the greatest defensive line in history, and it doesn't propel you to wins, it kind of kills the rest of your team. I mean, they have had quarterback issues for years. Their wide receiver, other than McLaren, is suspect. Their offensive line is bad. When you're building everything on one side of the ball, and specifically to one unit, Jeff, I would imagine that's not a great recipe for success.
Well, evidently it's not, because they're showing it right now. But listen, you can have the greatest defensive line in the world. All the quarterback needs is a half a second more than it takes for you to get there. You know what I mean? So if it takes you 3 seconds, all he needs is 2.5 seconds. And that's it. You could still hit him. Doesn't matter. As long as he gets the pass off, it doesn't really matter. So if you don't have good defensive backs, your defensive line is all but going for waste. It's a weird mix. This is why they say the term complete team.
Yes,
absolutely. You need a complete team. You need a complete defense. You need a complete offense. You can have the greatest quarterback, but if you don't have receivers, what are you going to do? You could be a great running back. If you don't have a good offensive line in front of you, what are you going to do? You can be a great receiver. If your quarterback can't throw the ball over the offensive lineman's head, what's the point? So same with defense. A defensive line is one part of it. You got to be able to cover these receivers. You got to be able to contain the running backs and everything else. I mean, we could just keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
But, you can't, you can't waste all your time in the draft the last 3 years, whatever it is, drafting just defensive linemen, because now the rest of your team is getting hurt, getting older. They're leaving free agency. You're spending money on free agents. It's, there's a lot to it. You know that. Come on, man. You know the deal.
Absolutely. Guys, again, remember we're the Sunday Audible here on a Saturday morning. We'll be doing a lot of Saturdays, I think, along the way with Jeff off on Saturday. So stick around. We got plenty to get to. We're going to go into something I'm going to call now the rapid fire segment. I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff at the boys. They're going to get 20 seconds to give their take on it. So we go run through a whole bunch of stuff. So guys, load up. And here we go. Ready? Okay, John, is Brady old and distracted, or is he just missing big play wide receivers?
I think it's a combination of both, Tommy. I mean, that team looks disoriented. I don't know if it's Todd Bowles and the way he's running things, but I look into he's missing a lot of passes, and I think the receivers also getting no separation, not using enough of Leonard Fournette. But the big standout here, the defense. I think the defense has given up too many plays. We thought this was going to be one of the stronger defenses in the league, and I think, they're starting to point fingers. I mean, I think there's something going on inside that we don't know about. The team looks distracted. Brady looks distracted. Infighting, something needs to change there, and I think that's on the coach.
Jeff, Tom Brady is 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1,650 yards. His QB rating, I don't see on my board here, but he's completing 67% of his passes. But the Bucs are 3-3, a listless team. Jeff, 20 seconds. Is Tom Brady distracted? Is he just getting old, or is it the team around him?
I think he's getting old and he's distracted. Having gone through a divorce and being a poor man compared to Tom Brady, I had a lot of shit on my mind. There was things that I didn't even want to think about. So Tom Brady, with millions of dollars at stake and God knows what else, he has a lot on his mind. As far as ever admitting that it's time to step down, I don't think that he's ever going to do that at this point in time, not going through what he's going through now. Because you might as well just roll belly up out on the front lawn and wait for it to come and forgive you. So he can't do that. I think he has too much pride in himself to ever say that. But I think it's obvious. You can have 8 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's great. But your team's not winning, and you just seem distracted. Other people are saying, Ben Roethlisberger just said the other day in the I think it was on ESPN, that he just doesn't seem like he's into the idea of playing. So. And he's 45 years old. Come on, man. How much longer can he go?
Right. All right, guys. The Rams, Johnny, 20 seconds. The Rams caught in a Super Bowl haze. What's wrong with the Rams?
There's multiple things, Tommy. I think that they're not able to run the football. That's one of the things that I've seen over the last few weeks. And I really do think they're missing Odell Beckham. Other than Cooper Kupp, I mean, Cooper Kupp is a consistent. But, I mean, the guy, the one game, 15, 16 targets, one of these defenses is going to figure out that, that's the guy they need to double. And Robinson hasn't really stepped up into Odell's role. I see a team that's just kind of looking for what that identity is going to be this season. I think it is a Super Bowl haze, but I think McVay's going to get the team together, and I think you'll see them competitive again as well.
Jeff, I think they're caught up. I think they're overrated, and I think they really are missing Cam Akers. Jeff, are the Rams caught in the Super Bowl haze, or is it other things?
I don't think it's a Super Bowl haze, Tom. I really don't. I think it's other things that have led up to this. You don't hear the name Cooper Kupp like you did last year. Mm-hmm. And whether it's the absence of Odell Beckham or whatever, I don't know. I know they're having problems with their running back, Cam Akers. What is the quarterback's name? Stafford is another one that he's getting older. Mm-hmm. After years of getting pummeled in Detroit, you mortgaged the future for 1 year. Yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but, was he a little too old at that point in time? I don't know. They could just be having a bad year. I mean, not for nothing. Look at Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. If I told you that neither one of those teams made the Super Bowl last year, would you believe it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there you go, right there. Right. To me, at least.
Let's see what else. Okay, guys, 20 seconds again. Let's keep it to 20 seconds. We got a couple more to get to. Guys, is this the last stand in Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers? Does he go somewhere else next year? Does he retire? Is this it in Green Bay?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, John, go.
I think Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay. I think, I don't know if this is his last stand, but that team offensively just looks, that he looks frustrated in that offense. I mean, they're not doing what he likes to do, and that's like get the ball downfield. He's under a ton of pressure this year. They're not scoring points. They look lethargic. I don't see that, that power running game. With Jones. I mean, we've seen some, highlights of that, but I just don't even know what to say there with Aaron Rodgers. He just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket, and he's not the Aaron Rodgers that we've seen over the last 10 seasons.
Nope. Jeff, Aaron Rodgers before the season had a lot of comments. There was some questions whether he'd be back there in Green Bay. He's already said this year they need to simplify the offense and they should be in on trade mix in any trades out there. Trade deadlines this week. Jeff, is this the last stand for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay?
It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know if he's committed to football, Tom. And I think that he's going to be, unlike Brady, I don't think that he has an expectation of playing close to 50. I think that he's losing his steam for the game. You were on a good team in Green Bay for how many years? That was a perennial Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you didn't know if you wanted to play there anymore, which I've always found kind of odd. And then you make your mind up, you sign with the team, and then they turn around and trade your number one receiver and then don't replace him. I would have been like, give me that contract. I want to take my name off of it. You got to be insane. But we don't know all the ins and outs of these teams. But I don't know. I don't think that think he wants to be out on the field every week. I think he's losing interest quick. And listen, as a team that's 3-3 right now and no chance of looking, getting better this week, I think he loses more and more interest with every game.
I agree with you. I think it's losing interest in being in Green Bay. I don't think he wants to be part of a rebuild. I think he wants to get one more title. I'll be honest with you, Jeff. I agree with you. I don't think he's long term. I think he's trying to win one more. I think he wants to do it in Green Bay. The question I'll leave us with is, does he want to win one more in Green Bay and hang out a couple years till he fixes this, or does he say, "Hey, let me go and go to a team that's maybe close to being ready," kind of like with what Brady did a couple years ago with Tampa guys. So I think Aaron Rodgers wants one more. The question is, does he have the desire to stick around Green Bay to do it, which I don't think he does, or does he ask to and want to go someplace else and finish his career 1 year on a team that is quarterback needy, ready to go? So we'll see. Yeah, Jeff.
How about this? Take this into consideration. He's getting to be an older guy, Rodgers. Do you really want to play in Green Bay anymore? It starts getting cold there way earlier than it does other places. And when other guys are playing, even in New York, and they're playing games in December, and the temperature is in the high 40s, low 50s, he's up in Green Bay. They could be playing in below freezing temperatures up there. Getting sacked on that ground has got to be like getting pounded into concrete. Why do you want to put yourself in that position? And you know what I mean? Like, is the lure of a Super Bowl that big out of Green Bay I would, that's like me hitting one of you guys out in the front of the house. Like, I would say, no, Tom, no, you can't do that. John, no. Don't do that to me, please.
I disagree, John. I think if there's, there are a couple hallowed grounds in football. I think Green Bay's at the top of that. You could put Pittsburgh in there. There's a few places that are hallowed ground. I think winning Super Bowls in Green Bay, title town as they call it, there's no bigger place to win a Super Bowl. And I think Aaron Rodgers has thrived in the cold up there in his career. I agree, Jeff. He's 38 years old. Less and less he wants to do it. But John, I don't think there's a better place to win a Super Bowl than Green Bay.
Yeah, all the nostalgia up there and the past. It's they don't call it title town for nothing.
Right.
That's what started it, and it's really tough, like Jeff said, to even pinpoint what Rodgers is going to do. I mean, he doesn't look like he's entirely there now, or could it be something to where this guy, he still has the tools, but he needs an injection somewhere. I mean, did they get him Beckham, which I don't think, they're looking at Chase Claypool now from Pittsburgh. He kind of needs something to get him back into, believing again. It seems like now with these guys, they're not gelling at all. Mm-hmm. Lazard hasn't stepped up and done anything. And is he even a placement even in the same universe as Devontae Adams?
There's not two more people in the world that want to see Lazard step up and do way better than me and Tommy right now. All right, we had half the fucking Green Bay receiving core on our fantasy team. They ain't done dick. Put together times two. Right. They ain't done nothing. So believe me when I tell you, we just got rid of one. We just hope we got rid of the right one.
Well, the good news for us is that Cobb's out 2 to 6 weeks. So there's less. Randall Cobb's out 2 to 6 weeks with an ankle sprain. So there should be more opportunities for Lazard, guys.
Yeah, or Dobbs.
Or Dobbs, but hey guys, let's finish up with.
I think Dobbs is the guy.
I did too, but he went non-existent for weeks. So
they pulled away from Dobbs a little bit. I mean, you watch the last couple games, and it's he had that one breakout game, and we thought, man, that's going to be it. The guy's got the speed, he's got the tools. He just got to get the separation. I think that's what's missing right there. I don't think defenses are. They're challenging Green Bay now, more so than ever before.
Oh,
if you guys watch the games, yeah.
Absolutely, and you can just see that their offense isn't flowing like it used to, where everything kind of went through Devontae Adams, and that opened up for everybody else. It's a whole different ball game, and I don't think they've been able to adjust to that, so to speak. But guys, I want to get to another segment before we get to our picks. And guys, stick around. The Sunday Audible team will be picking all the games for tomorrow and Monday night, so stick around for a few more minutes. We'll get to that before we end the show. Hey, guys, I want to give you each a chance to talk a little bit about some stuff going on with your teams. Jeff, you first. Obviously, everything's looking up. I mean, the defense is playing great. Quinn Williams is finally becoming the player that everybody kind of thought he was on draft night. But there is a little bit of stuff in Green that's not sitting well, and that's two receivers. Each have asked for trades over the last couple of years. Elijah Moore has been a ghost in the offense this year so far. No targets last year. And Mims hasn't gotten on the field much this year at all. He's finally going to play this year because of Moore not basically being benched and suspended for a couple of days. Jeff, while there's a lot of good, what do you take out of the bad?
What do I take out of the bad is that it looks like Salah and the coaching staff there doesn't know what to do with wide receivers. And you can't go into week after week after week relying on the same 2 or 3 receivers. You need to spread the ball around. You need to keep people involved and healthy. What happens if one receiver goes down? You already have 2 disgruntled ones. What are you going to go back and be like, oh, well, we knew this was going to happen, so come on, it's your turn. All right, Denzel Mims has been bitching and crying all off season and in through the season. I mean, I haven't heard much of what he said, but he hasn't played. You don't even try to get rid of the guy for a draft pick.
Nope.
Then you got Elijah Moore, who was having a breakout season last year. And then, I mean, come on, this isn't somebody that you signed 2 days after camp started because your number one went down and you boosted everybody up and you're trying to get him. Yeah. This is a guy that you drafted last year. I think Salah has proven that he could build a defense. I think he's showing us right now what he could do with a defense. But as far as nurturing and raising wide receivers, I don't know. There's a lot to be decided. I'll be the first one to admit that. It's a shame.
And I think what happens is you got a lot of young receivers, Jeff, who want to play, want to be involved, and you have a young quarterback still feeling his way through his second season, coming off an injury, being out for a good part of the beginning of the season. And I don't think you're getting – and I think the Jets are doing the right thing. They're running the football behind Breece Hall, Michael Carter. They're having a great thing, and they're not putting pressure. I mean, Wilson was only 10 of 18 for 100 yards last week, and they won convincingly. So they should be happy.
They won convincingly because of the defense, Tom.
And the special teams, absolutely. Agreed. But
I'll be the first one to admit what they're doing, and is great. I love that they're winning, but – you're right. 10 of 18 is not – Zach Wilson has to show that he could go in there and get involved in a shootout and either win or come close to winning every time he's in one, because if, God forbid, you see one starting, you're going to be like, this kid isn't going to know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's a bad feeling. And John, not for nothing, as a Steeler fan, you had a team, you had a quarterback that could have been in a shootout with just about anybody for years, Roethlisberger. You could tell us exactly what it feels now, not knowing what's going to happen next. Yeah, so John, you would know better than anybody.
John, he's 100% right. I was just going to bring it up for you. The Kenny Pickett era started maybe sooner than most people thought. He goes out with an injury. Trubisky comes back in last week, and you get a big win. Not a pretty win, but you get a big win. Has this turned the season around at 2-4 now, or what are your expectations with Kenny Pickett and your team going forward?
I think it's going to be a slow process, Tommy. I think the thing that you saw the team, have a drastic change when they put Pickett in. I mean, the
Yeah.
fan base has been pulling for this guy. He brings a lot of excitement. But I think the thing that I like about him is you're starting to see, the reasons that they drafted this guy. Poise in the pocket is one thing that I really, see from him. I don't see him looking off. I see him looking off different receivers. I see him going through his progressions, his checkdowns. Uh, I don't see him like a lot of young quarterbacks just eyeballing one receiver and taking off. Kind of like what Justin Fields has been doing the last 2 years. If you watch any Chicago game, he's his main guy. If he's covered, he takes off. Uh, I think eventually what we're going to see is Pickett establish cohesion with his receiving core. You're starting to see the guys get involved now a little bit more. I think you're going to see a lot of the younger guys step up like Pickens. I think having Freiermuth come back this week too. Getting Harris involved in a passing game. I think I think it's going to be gradual, but I think you're going to see the team build on this, and I think the games that they're going to win are going to be ugly wins.
Yeah.
And I think you got a good possibility of a shootout this Monday night. With Tua coming back and that receiving core, Waddle and Hill, they're going to light it up.
I would agree. It's gonna be fun. And again, guys, thanks for tuning into the Sunday Audible on a Saturday morning. Jeff Towinski, John Myhefka, and myself. We're going to be doing our picks. And I just want to tell you guys, while we also they also help us out on the Thursday night show at Hard Rock and Sports. We want you to know that the holidays are coming, and you should guys, if you have a family member out there with a beautiful beard like Jeff's going to give you a little minute on Cushman's, but of course on our good friends at Hemp Wizard Beer Care Company. They guys, if you have a family member, whether it's male or female, who's sporting a good beard, and you want to get some great beard care products, but also if you have a nice wife like Jeff and myself, and of course John and Chrissy, if you got the lady in your life with who takes care of her skin, they have a beautiful line of skincare products. So Jeff, tell everybody about Cushman's. And the stuff that you and again coming up pretty soon, the Sunday Audible, the Audible fragrance.
Well, this is Cushman's is the scent.
Yep.
And that's what I like. I use this one in the shower every day. Of course you can't smell this one because it's empty. This is the advertisement bottle. But I put a little dab of this in the beard, and it suds up really nice, and it makes it nice and soft throughout the day. And the oil. Cushman's oil. I have a couple of these. I use a little bit of this at night. Rub it in, makes it nice and soft, and keeps the skin nice and smooth underneath. Good stuff. And I mean, John, we were talking about this the other night. When you were a kid, there was always that one relative. You used to have to go to relative's house. Now's the time of the year you go see relatives. You got Thanksgiving coming, you got Christmas, New Year's. You're going to see the relatives, and there's always that one aunt. There she is from across the room. She got the big, thick red lipstick on, and she's got a fucking beard or a mustache. And she's always the one, oh, come give me a kiss. And you're like, oh, I got a sore throat. Now we're adults. We can think that. When we were kids and you aggravated your parents on the way there, go give Aunt Ellen a kiss. And we're like, I don't want to. I'm like, go now. But now, if you get her this, it's not going to be as prickly, man. It's not going to be wiry. It's not going to be bad. This will help you want to kiss Aunt Ellen at the holiday time. So contact Hemp Wizard Beer Care Company. Get Aunt Elle some of this stuff. Get yourself some. Get a pair of dark sunglasses, whatever it is you got to get. And your holidays will be that much better for everybody involved. Plus, if you get her this, she'll smell nice too. And you can get her some of the lotion. My wife uses the lotion. She loves it.
I don't think that Mike and Joe at Hemp Wizard are going to be using that as an endorsement to kiss Aunt Ellen. But John, what the hell? Whatever works to sell a few bottles, right?
I got a story for you guys too. Like Jeff just brought that up about the holidays, and I'll never forget. My brother came up when we were younger. He came over to me and he goes, "I'm sick of these old women kissing me." Well, if they had a little bit of Hemp Wizard product, maybe it would have been a little different.
But guys, remember the holidays are coming. You got, like Jeff said, you got Thanksgiving and you got Christmas. And what better gift to give the bearded person in your life, male or female, or the skincare lotions for the ladies. And look kind of John was got really nice, smooth skin there, Jeff. John could use a little bit of the skincare products and help maintain the skin, but we don't get chapped during the winter, right?
They were
smell
nice
good too.
to send my wife some of their hand cream.
Very nice.
So she could try it. And she got some blueberry scented cream and an apple scented cream. And they're really nice creams, man. They're really good. Kept their hands nice and smooth. And, you know, one thing you got to realize today, you can't just gear this product towards men with the woke culture.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody could have a beard.
That's true.
They could have a beard. Them could have a beard. Him, her, she.
They could
whatever.
Be under the underarms. The ladies can go on the underarms with it. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand that one at all, but okay.
But listen, to each their own. But again, guys, make sure you support our friends at Hemp Wizard. They're great stocking stuffers and great gifts for your family and friends. So make sure you visit Joe and Mike over at Hemp Wizard Beer Care Co. Proud sponsors and friends of the Sunday Audible show. Thank you, Joe and Mike. And we're looking forward to the Sunday Audible scent coming out soon, Jeff. We're going to have our own, guys, we're going to have our own line of stuff pretty soon.
I'm definitely going to try it for sure.
So it's called the Audible. I have it inside, and it's a mixture of leather, peach, and apple scents. Mm-hmm. And Tom, next time that we're together, hopefully you'll be letting me take you out for your birthday soon. Yep. I keep asking Tommy to.
Oh, you're so full of crap. He's so full of shit. I swear to God.
Anyway, John, I keep asking Tommy for some fucking dates. The guy's skirting the issue. I'm trying to do the right thing. Take my friend out for dinner. Right. So I'm gonna have to text his wife.
Yeah, do that. You do that.
That's how you get it done, Jeff.
That's it. That's
how you get it done. You got to go. You got to go to the source.
All right, guys. So let's get to the pick segment so we can wind this show down. It's a lot of fun here on a Saturday morning. Hope you guys have a great week. It's a little chilly out here in the East Coast, in the Northeast. So make sure you bundle up when you go out. I'm going out to start my Christmas shopping directly after the show. So,
and you know what that means, right?
What's that?
That's it.
It's the greatest time of the year, Christmas time. Man.
It is the greatest time of the year, folks. So stick around. We got to go through the picks right now. So let's get them started right here, boys.
I got this ready to go.
There it is. I will be tracking the picks. So let's see how you guys. So here we go, boys. Ready? All right, Johnny boy. I'll start off with you, John. Jaguars, Giants. Jaguars giving 3 points to the Giants in Jacksonville. Where you going?
That's a tough one. We talked about this earlier. It could be one of those. You're going to play down. But I think the Giants get it done. I think they have just enough. I think they're able to run the football. And as long as you don't have the mistakes and go in there and kind of, look past these guys, I think the G-men get it done, and I think they continue to get it rolling, keep it rolling.
Okay, John. Jeff, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Jaguars, man. I think that they're going to cover the spread. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good game this week.
Okay, I'm with John. I think the Giants. This is one of those games where I could see the Giants losing. You're going to Florida, maybe for the first time in a long time, looking past an opponent. I don't know, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Giants to win here. I'll start with you, Jeff. Game 2, the Jets on the road facing the underwhelming Broncos. And who pops up? Frank Catalano pops up at the right time, Jeff. So
good,
Jeff.
I want silences. I give my answer.
Go
you
ahead.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Jets 35, Broncos 3. Oh, excuse me. Jets 35, Broncos 2. They only get a safety.
At the end of the game.
All right, John. How are you handling? John, how are you handling this game, John?
I'm going to go with the Jets as well. I think. I haven't seen anything out of Denver that's impressed me on the offensive side of the ball, and I think that's really where the letdown has been. They haven't been able to run the ball, and the thing that I've seen a lot of is Wilson not spreading the ball around enough to the right guys. I don't see the receivers getting the separation. We thought Jerry Jeudy would be a guy that would step up this year. Haven't seen it. Until I see something out of that offense, defensively they're strong. But I think the Jets get it done. I think, Coach Salah gets them together, and and does it again with the running game. I think they're going to throw a little bit more this week too.
Guys, I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I love the way the Jets are playing, but they're traveling across the country. I think the expectations are getting there a little bit, and I think the Broncos defense will step up. I don't know if Wilson plays or not. I think that's a big factor. They say it's a game-time decision. I'm going to assume he's playing. I think the Jets are still a growing team. I think they lose this game because they don't throw the ball well enough. I think they're going to, and I think they have the issues on the receiving core. I'm taking the Broncos to win at home. Very close game. I don't think this is a barn burner at all. I would be surprised if this game got into the 20s. I'm going to take Frankie Catalano and his Broncos this week. Jeff, week 3, we got the Bengals at home, 6.5 over the Falcons. Surprising Falcons. We've already Frankie got it. Hey Jeff, are you believing in Joe Burrow and them turning this around? Where do you like this week? Broncos at home and with the Falcons.
Dude, I would love nothing more than to see Joe Burrow turn this around and make the Bengals a team to believe in this year. But this is a tough game for me to pick. I'm going to go with the Bengals only because I feel the Bengals is a team that was in the Super Bowl last year are going to be a better team than the Falcons, or should be a better team than the Falcons. Mm-hmm. But I got a feeling that it's going to be close, but I'm hoping that the Bengals pull it out. So I'm going to go Bengals.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a lot of faith in either one, but I think the Falcons are a bad team. I think the Bengals win. I don't know if they cover. 6.5 seems to me a lot of points in this game for two teams that once. I think the Falcons are actually playing a little better football, John. So I'm gonna take the Bengals to win, but I'm not sure I'm gonna say they're gonna cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals with this one as well. I think this is a game where they turn their season around. Although I think the Falcons have been playing surprisingly well.
Yeah,
I think Mariota, is he's running the ball a lot. I think that's one of the aspects that they didn't have with Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Kind of changed it up a little bit, and that's kind of taken the Cordero Patterson out of the mix being injured. Mariota stepped up and added that running aspect. But I think Cincinnati turns it around here. I think they're a better team than what they've shown this year, and Burrow gets it back again with Chase, and I think you're going to see a lot of Joe Mixon in this one too.
I hope so. I hope so. Hey,
I hope he has a breakout game.
He's due.
Hey, Jeff, the 4-2 Cowboys at home versus the surprisingly bad, and I thought they'd be better so far this year, but the surprisingly bad Lions at 1-4. Jeff, the Cowboys are 6.5 point favorites. Dak back. What's your story on this one?
Listen, I've liked the Lions since the Gary Danielson days, and when I first started watching them on Thanksgiving, I've always been into the Lions. They're just a perennial loser, and I see no reason why that's going to change anytime soon. I think that they're going to get better as time goes on, and like maybe next year. But this year, I think they got too much weight on them. I say they lose this one. Okay,
John, we all had a little bit of high expectations for Dan Campbell and the boys, and it hasn't happened. They have not turned that corner. Give me a take. Cowboys 6.5 at home over that with Dak returning.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy. I mean, we thought that Campbell would turn it around, but and we have seen pieces of it. I mean, we see him lost a couple close games, scoring a lot of points, and then Swift and St. Brown went down. So I think that was a hit. But I think those guys are both coming back this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think you're going to see a lot of points in this game. I think it's going to be a game where Dak is not going to be able to sit back and do what they have been doing, while he was injured, is run the ball. I think you're going to see him have to throw a little bit more. But I'm going to take Dallas at home. I think that's if that's a game where Dak comes back and they lose to the Lions, I think there's going to be a lot of questions there.
Okay, guys, one of the few division games this year. Two teams at the top of the division in the AFC South. The Tennessee Titans take on the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans are favored at home by 2.5. The Colts on a resurgence. I'm taking the Colts to win this game. I still don't believe in Tannehill and that team. I'm going to take the Colts to keep the drive going. So I got Indy. Jeff, how do you like this one?
I got to go with you with this one, Tom. The Colts, you're talking about a Colts team that's won 3 in a row. You're talking about a Titans team that's hanging on to the division only because they haven't lost as many games as some of the other teams.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be in first place. I don't believe that they have a stranglehold on it. I think Tannehill is on the decline. I don't think he's the quarterback that everybody thought he was. And I think that the Colts are going to start clawing back a little bit. I don't think they're going to go, on a 4, 5, 6 game winning streak, but I think they'll get their 4th win in a row.
Okay, so Jeff's going Colts. I got Colts. John, a team back from the dead. Their coach was on the fire. Listless offense. They've picked it back up. Jeff, John, Titans 2.5 favorites at home over the Colts. Where you going?
I'm going against you guys on this. I'm going with the Titans. And I think the main reason that I'm going with them is because of Derrick Henry. I think the things that I've seen out of the Colts, even in the wins, there's been a lot of ugly play, from Matt Ryan. And I don't, the game's outdoors in Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to be up for this one, divisional game. These guys are going to be running the ball. I think it's going to be a heavy dosage of Jonathan Taylor on the other side too. I think you're going to see that. I just think Tennessee, I think it's going to be close though. I don't think they're going to cover. I think it's going to be really tight.
Okay, we got a close game there. Again, guys, now we got the 3-3 Packers versus the 2-4 Redskins in DC. This is a 2.5 point spread. I thought it was more than that. Maybe I might have wrote that one down wrong. But either way, I like the Packers to rebound this week. I have no faith in the Redskins, and I obviously hope they lose every game the rest of their lives until they get rid of Ron Rivera. So, Jeff, I'm taking the Packers in this one to rebound. Where you going?
I got to go Green Bay too, Tom. I just feel as though Green Bay is the better team, so I think that they stand a more of a chance of winning than the Redskins do. I don't hate the Redskins like you do, obviously, but I just don't see them stacking up well against the Packers.
I agree, and I don't hate the Redskins as much as I hate Ron Rivera, but that's just a clarification. Johnny Boy, where you going with this? With the Packers on the road, favorite over the home team Redskins? But I refuse to call.
I'm with you guys on this too. I think Rodgers will get it. You'll see a semblance of the old Aaron Rodgers in this game. I think Aaron Jones are going to be able to run the ball, play better defense. If I'm not mistaken, I think Taylor Heineke is supposed to start this game. I'm not sure what the injury status is. We got to check into that. But regardless, I'm still taking Green Bay.
I believe he's starting.
Yeah, I believe so. It's a 4.5 point favorite. They're 4.5 point favorites. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's time to give the kid a chance. Anybody else they've run through that place has not been any more successful than this kid, and I think he gives them at least a fighting chance. So, Johnny's going Packers though, and as we hope they all beat the Redskins constantly. Crazy game. One team's selling off. They're obviously in a tailspin. No coach is gone. They've gotten rid of their best player. Jeff, I'm taking the Bucks, even though they're giving up almost 2 touchdowns on the road in Carolina to beat the Panthers. So I'm taking the Bucks for a big game today. Jeff, what's your thoughts?
I can't see how you wouldn't take the Buccaneers, and I hate Tom Brady. I can't see how you don't take the Buccaneers against the what do you call it? The Panthers. They just listen. He can have whatever he wants. Just being completely honest, the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
you just gave up your best player.
Yeah,
you just traded your best player.
Right.
You don't have a quarterback, and they're talking about one guy on their defense that's been okay. You know what? Listen, if I was them, I'd be like, I'm putting in my papers. Fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Buccaneers. And
Right.
13, I think is calling it close.
Yeah, I agree, John. I think one team is trying to right the ship, and I think the other one is basically giving up the ship. Would you take?
The other one's collecting water to put it on the ship. Never mind.
John,
It is. Got the hose on.
Buccaneers are giving 13 up to the Panthers. Where you going?
Boy, if there was ever a game where the Buccaneers right the ship and get everything back together with Brady and those receivers, this is it. I mean, this offense has to be licking their chops when they see this, going into Carolina. And boy, if you're going to get better, this is it. So I see a ton of whatever Tampa Bay wants to do, they're going to do here.
Isn't it amazing? Tom Brady is going through life. His life is falling apart. His wife is, God, we hope we find out his wife is doing gangbang movies and all kinds of nasty shit. That would be great and really give him a little zing. And then he gets to play the Carolina Panthers. Like it's like, forget, he's going to put up like 700 yards. He's going to complete 52 passes out of 53 attempts.
Right.
14 touchdown passes, 700 yards. And he's going to want to be out there in the last 35 seconds running fucking plays up by 73 points too.
That's it.
That's Tom Brady. That's why I hate him.
Guys, another divisional matchup. You got the 3-3 Browns. The 3-3 Ravens, 5.5 point favorites over Baltimore.
Wait,
Baltimore,
you just said the Ravens.
I apologize.
5.5 points over Baltimore.
Yes, over the Cleveland Browns. Let's start all over again. We got the 3-3 Ravens at home over facing the 2-4 Browns. They are favored by 6.5 points. You know what? I have no faith in the Ravens this year. I'm going to take the Browns to get a surprising win here. I think they need a win here to stay in this thing. And I think Baltimore, coming off a bad loss to the Giants last week, will not rebound this week. So I'm taking the Browns on the road, getting 4.5. Jeff, you want the Tom Brady thing again?
There it is. Look.
There's the real GOAT right here. There's the real GOAT. Jeff, give me your pick.
You want my pick?
Yes.
God,
Ravens and the Browns.
I think the Ravens defense is going to totally suffocate the Browns.
Okay.
Another team that whose quarterback they got quarterback issues. One thing that we never talked about yet is Watson got another fucking
yes,
ace against him. How is this guy sleep at night?
How does Goodell let this guy even come back? I mean, at some point, you gotta just say, guys, shake hands, move on. You can't let this is not the end of all of this. It's not the end. But Jeff's going Ravens. John, where you going?
I'm going with the Ravens as well. This is a team that's really surprising me. I mean, scoring a lot of points, doing the things. I mean, you're seeing. I don't even know what to say here. I mean, it's just the games that they're losing defensively is what's really surprising me here. But I think at home against Cleveland, I think you're going to see you're going to see the offense do well, and like Jeff said, they're going to suffocate the Browns in that running game, and I can't see Jacoby Brissett winning this game. Now, I think the Ravens right the ship here and at home.
Okay, guys. The Sunday Audible live on a Saturday morning, bringing you our picks for this week, number 7 in the NFL season. Hey, Jeff, the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, 1-4, get to face off against the 1-3-1 Texans in a marquee matchup in the NFL this week. In the who cares game, Jeff, I'm going to take the Raiders. They have to win this week. They should win this week. And they have to win this week. So I'm taking the Raiders, and they are giving 7 points. Jeff, where you going?
The Raiders are giving 7 points.
Yes, the Raiders are favored at home with 7 points.
Man, I almost wish that the half man would call in about this one at this point in time, because 7 points by a team that's 1-4 playing another team that's 1-3-1, and they're giving them 7 points.
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. I guess I'm taking the 7 points, giving the 7 points and taking the Raiders on this one, because I just can't see the Texans winning this game. But, man, that is hard to say.
That's a tough – John, it's a tough game. Tough to say and even tougher to watch, John. So give me your pick and let's move on.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a nationally televised game, I hope, right?
In fact, I think they're playing this game in Guatemala because nobody cares. Best game.
I thought I was going to wait. Please don't tell me that'll only be the cherry on the cake.
I would tell you this is probably a pay-per-view game because only you want to pay to watch this one. So
that'd be great to see a donkey run across the field or something. Some guy chasing it with a sombrero. Get over here, you
little lady down there at the thing chasing chickens into a yeah.
It might happen, but I don't think this one is going to be televised.
No.
From what I hear, and if it is, it's a crying shame. Even the fan bases don't want to watch it.
I think they're streaming this game through somebody's telephone. They're gonna have somebody streaming it through a phone because they're not even sending cameramen out to this game.
Jeez. That's it. It's radio exclusive.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Oh, so it's FaceTime only?
Yeah, that might be it.
That might be it. First FaceTime game only.
I'm taking the Raiders on this, guys. I mean, there's no other way to go.
There's no other choice. All right, guys. In an interesting matchup for the Chargers and the Seahawks. The Seahawks are at home, giving 5.5 points to the surprising, I thought, would tank Seahawks. Coming back to earth a little bit. I'm taking the Chargers. They have to keep winning. I think they will keep winning, and I'll take the Chargers, given the 5.5 at home. Jeff, where you going?
Me, I got to take the Chargers too. You know, Herbert's our boy.
Yep.
We need him to play big this week. Big this week.
Big.
Herbert, we need like 500 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Would be nice.
We need you to fucking channel your last year's games, please, and get going. But I don't think it's so much that the Chargers are going to be the one that playing well, as it is maybe the Seahawks starting to break down, because right now Geno Smith looks like fucking Joe Montana. How, I don't know. Right. If he played like this, he'd still be a Jet.
Yeah, very true.
Right.
Very true, John. Jeff's going over with the Chargers. I got the Chargers. Where you going?
I'm taking the Chargers as well, but I think it's going to be a game where Herbert needs to stretch the field.
I agree.
Watching these last couple of games, I mean, Mike Williams is barely involved here, and he's got a lot of weapons. Austin Eckler has been playing lights out, in a check down role, passing game, running game. I just, I need to see these guys open it up a little bit. This is one of the teams that we thought, would be a solid contender. I think they're going to need to score points. I mean, the Seahawks, have been putting up some points. So let's see the Chargers get involved there, score some points, and I'm taking the Chargers in this one.
Okay, in the 4:00 window, the one of the games that will be televised nationally, the Chiefs on the road giving 1.5 points to the hometown 49ers, who just got Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if it makes that big a difference. I still think the Chiefs are the better team. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one to steal a road win, but it would not shock me if the Niners win this game. Jeff, where are you going?
I don't know much about the Niners this year. I know that Trey Lance got hurt and Garoppolo came back in. That's about it.
That's about all you need to know right now. Yeah.
But, yeah, I hear you. But I mean, I don't know how they're even playing, to be honest with you.
3-3, and not great football.
All right. Well, I gotta say, man, I gotta go with the Chiefs on this one. I think that there's more on the line for the Niners, but I think the Chiefs at this point in time, that after getting beat last week by Buffalo, they're not going to lose 2 in a row.
I agree.
And I don't see them losing to a team like the Niners. I know the Niners are 3-3, but I just didn't know, are they keeping it close? Are they competitive? I know nothing about them this year.
Yeah, it's competitive, but I think you made the right call there. Johnny boy, where are you going in this game?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs too, guys, but I think you're going to see this. The 49ers are going to open up and put a lead on the Chiefs in the beginning. That's just the way I feel this is going to go. I think, with McCaffrey coming in, there's some excitement. I think, 3-3, there's the expectation level now, with the Niners. You're playing, one of the best teams in the league here, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I think you're going to see the Chiefs, light it up in the second half of this game and win it. I can't see them losing 2 in a row either, guys.
I'm with you on that, guys. Now we're down to the Sunday night game, which Johnny's got a special match. Look, the Dolphins at home, 7.5 point favorites over the Steelers. I think it's a little too much, but I do like the Dolphins. I know there's a little bit of banged up in the receiving core with Waddle and Hill. I believe Tua's back this week. Am I correct on that? Is he playing? I think with all the question marks in in Pittsburgh with their offense, even their defense, with Pickett. I think this is a tough week for Pittsburgh. I'm taking the Dolphins. I don't know if they'll cover the spread, but it's going to be it'll be a touchdown game, Jeff.
I hope that the Steelers win for your whole sake there, John. But
and for yours too, because it clears them out of the way of your Jets.
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about the Dolphins, dude. I think Tua's brain is like scrambled eggs at this point in time. But as long as he knows who Tyreek Hill is and he just repeatedly throws the ball at him enough that he catches it for a couple 100 yards and a few touchdowns, I'm all good with that.
Yes.
He may have CTE already. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just think that the Dolphins are going to be on the downturn now. Okay. I think that Tua is going to need some time. He hasn't played in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
So, he's going to need to shake a little rust off. I got to admit, the Steelers, let's real quick. I know we don't have much time, but the Steelers are like an old house. They're like, your grandmother's old house, with big old wooden house with those big aluminum windows and the aluminum door. And whenever something would break in the house, Grandma would never just go out and get new windows all around. She would just replace the window that was broken, like with another aluminum window. And the rest of the league is going faster and getting beyond it. And they're lagging a little behind. And that's how I see the Steelers now. I think that they have that old smash mouth mentality from years ago, and they need to get more modernized. But I don't think that they can do it. I don't think they can do it because they're just such an old team. Them, the Packers, I just can't see them getting it to be a team like the Chiefs, a team like, that relies on speed. You
like
see Buffalo. I just don't see it. So until they decide to do something, I don't even think the Steelers have hit rock bottom yet, to be honest with you, bro. Quarterback change or not. I just don't think they've hit rock bottom yet. But I think that they're going to take the Dolphins this week. So I'm going to go Steelers.
Okay, Johnny Boy, it's your game. Go for it.
I thought Jeff said that very well put, Jeff, because I agree. I think it's a team that needs to – right now they have no identity. We don't know what they're going to do. I mean, do they want to try to establish the running game? What are you going to do with Pickett? Are you going to let this guy, be what we think he's going to be, which is a guy that has tons of escapability. He's multifaceted. Like I said, I've seen some good things from him in the pocket going through progressions and things. But this is a tough one for me. But boy, I think the Steelers are going to have to score some points in this game. And I think if you let Pickett loose, I think there's going to be a turnover that's going to swing this one way or the other. But I gotta stick with my boys, and I think that they get it done this week in Miami. And I'm not going to say he's going to turn the season around, but maybe give a little glimmer of what's to come.
All right. Well, let's hope for your sake it happens, John. And last game of the week, we have the Patriots at home trying to get Bill his 325th win, putting him ahead of George Halas. But they face the terminally ill Chicago Bears, who again have drafted a quarterback, another Ohio State quarterback in this league who has failed miserably after the hype. I have no faith in Chicago to go into on a Monday night and beat the Patriots. I don't care that the spread is 8 points. I don't care if it's Bradley Zappi or Mac Jones. As long as Stevenson runs for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns, I'm all over it. I'm taking the Bill Belichick led the Patriots to win this one. Going away easy. I think this is a 2 touchdown or better game. Jeff, where you going?
Great.
Well, listen, I'm hoping Stevenson wins too. Wins league MVP, league week MVP, offensive player in a fucking decade, whatever it takes. Just bring them fucking points home.
That's it.
But, I would hate to see Belichick inch closer to anybody in the win column. So
he may hang around enough time to get Schuler's record, but he's certainly going to get 325 this week.
How many is he behind?
Schuler, I think, is 342 or 347. So
347.
So he's still 25 wins behind. He needs at least another couple of years.
That's 3 years at least.
Probably 3 years the way the team is built right now. I would say he needs 3 years. I don't think Bill's sticking around for it, but he's certainly going to get 325 this week, John.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And, I brought it up in our chat, guys. These are probably two of the most boring teams in the league.
Yep.
I mean, this is a game that, if you had Houston and Vegas on one channel and this on the other, I'd probably fall asleep, even as a rabid NFL fan.
This is a Monday night game, no less. There's been some bad Monday night games, and we'll talk about that next week. I have enough time to get to the bad Thursdays and Monday games. I listed them all, but this, Jeff, may go down historically as one of the worst games.
You gotta, first of all, somebody in the NFL office has to be sitting there and say, who signed off on this? Monday night? Really?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, even before the season, you had to know the Bears were going to be bad.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, there was talk of Justin Fields being a better player, improving a little bit and everything. Chicago being a little bit better. At this point in time, I think that I could go out there and put up the same numbers Justin Fields. He's just a little faster than I am.
Yes, that's
true. About it.
He's bad this year. If you guys watch him, he looks at his first receiver every single play, and if he doesn't see him open, takes off.
Yeah, it's a one and gun, one read and gun. I gotta tell you, I've said it before he stepped on the field, and I'll say it again. Show me the Ohio State quarterback who's ever made the transition to the NFL and has made any sort of difference, and it doesn't happen. They just are a program that breeds a certain quarterback in college, and they never fulfill the promises here. So, Johnny boy, what's your pick?
Can we go over this?
Never losing this game.
Hold on, let John make his pick, and then we can. Sure, John, make your pick.
Yeah, New England's never losing this game. I think Stevenson has a huge game. I think the Bears would be better off not even showing up. I think on this one.
I'll be surprised too. Go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you finish it up. What do you got?
He's got 869 yards so far. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Oof. He's played in 6 games with 869 yards. He's 30th. He's tied for 29th with 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a QBR of 34.3. Okay. Rushing, he has 282 yards rushing with 1 touchdown. He's averaging somehow, some way, he's averaging 144.8 yards a game. He's been sacked 23 times and has lost 132 yards due to sacks.
Wow.
The guy, is it that he's that bad, or is it that Chicago is so bad?
Both.
That it, does he have a life? And is there a life in the NFL for Justin Fields after Chicago?
Well, let's ask the question: Is he next year's Jalen Hurts?
Definitely not.
Is he going to be the guy who we said for 2 years was terrible, and all of a sudden has turned it around? I don't see it.
Not in Chicago.
Yeah, but again, how many guys leave their team, go someplace else, and actually get better? It doesn't happen.
I mean, in Chicago, he has Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet.
Yeah,
I mean, that's his 2 main targets. I mean, unless you're handing off to Montgomery or even throwing to Montgomery, I would give Montgomery 60 touches a game if he could possibly do it. I mean, it's
only a chance.
It's bad.
You got to do something, because throwing the ball doesn't seem to be an option. I mean, I know that they're a bad team.
We're wearing the same shirt today, by the way, Jeff.
Oh, no.
Yes, we are.
Nice.
God, look at this shit here.
That's our Nico McBrain restaurant shirts.
Oh, Joey texted me yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I guess you didn't know what I'm about to tell you. He was offered tickets to go see Iron Maiden last night by Nico McBrain.
Oh, nice.
And he said that he couldn't go.
Wow.
He was busy.
You got to find, if Nico offers you tickets, you got to go.
Not only tickets, backstage passes.
Wow.
What?
Let me just verify that. So
that's
Nico was giving me 2 tickets tonight's Maiden show with backstage passes. I couldn't go. I would have been like, I'm sorry, unless I was getting married that night or I had to go to a funeral for a parent.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going. The drummer is giving me the tickets.
Yeah,
and Queensryche's opening too, guys. I mean,
listen, you. I don't care. I don't care if the the Blue Man Group's opening. If Nico McBrain of Iron Maiden's offering you 2 tickets and backstage passes, you find a way to go to that show.
Yeah.
What you got to do.
Yeah,
So,
that's the one you don't miss.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm certainly not in the group of getting tickets from stars, but sure shit, if I got offered one, I'd be certainly. Jeff and I would have been in the car last night on our way to see Iron Maiden last night.
As soon as he said I was getting the tickets, I would have been in the car.
Exactly right. But hey, guys, listen, this has been a fun show. I got to wrap it up. I'm already 26 minutes late that I promised my wife we'd be out the door, but that's okay. I'll deal with the getting yelled at when my show. My wife's great about it. She'll understand. But guys, a lot of fun. I wish both of your teams success this week. It's going to be a lot of fun getting back together next Saturday. Yes, Jeff, you are the GOAT. Jeff, you are the GOAT of the Sunday Audible show. Thanks to Mike Weissman and Joe Casano over at Hemp Wizard Beer Care Company for putting their name behind the show and making a nice scent that we're going to buy and distribute to our family members, male, female, and non-binary as well. If Jeff got any non-binary.
And fan Bubba, too.
Yeah, fan Bubba, too. So, guys, I'll give you the last word for the day. John, you first. Do you want to end this with?
Yeah, Jeff, he's 27 minutes late now for Christmas shopping. So if you're going to hit his wife up about the birthday dinner, I'd wait till later.
I have to. I should send his wife a text. You know what, John? I'm going to do it while we're on the air, too.
You're so full of shit.
There you go.
Okay.
I swear to God, he is so full of shit. We just made plans Thursday night because never mind. Jeff, besides your fake bullshit, do you have any last words you want to put on here before I close you out?
I can't talk and text at the same time.
Yeah, chew gum, walk, the whole bit. I got you. Hey, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your college football. I hope you enjoy the good, semi-good week of NFL games this week, although avoid the Texans and the Raiders. I'm sure you won't have a problem doing that.
There's the text. We can read it.
Yeah,
Look, it says right there.
Yeah. I'm sure. Unbelievable. That's why you have to deal with that.
Dude, brilliant move on my part. You know what I just did?
What?
Threw it in my wife's lap.
That's it. That's why you're the GOAT.
That's why you're the GOAT. That's why you're the GOAT. So I'll end it and say thanks. I hope everybody enjoys the college football today. Some good games. A lot of good games tomorrow in the NFL. Just stay away from the Texans and the Raiders. And Monday night. Yeah, stay away from Monday night best you can. There's got to be a rerun of Charlie Brown or something out there. Clear up the DVR.
That game Monday night.
Watch the Mets play. Yeah, there you go. But come on back next week when we get to do this all over again. So for John Marhefka, Jeff Towinski, and myself, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging around with us and taking it seriously for an hour and a half. And enjoy your weekend and enjoy your week. And we'll see you next Saturday morning right here again on the Sunday Audible. Gentlemen, have a great rest of your week. And I'll definitely talk to you guys during the day tomorrow.
Got it, man.
You
Later,
too,
I
guys.
got to run, guys. See you.
Take care, guys.